Alright guys, welcome again to Wolfpack TCG. We have another decklist profile from our winner today at Evergreen Games. So here he is.
Hi, this is Chester, and today for the event went Corno using Fire Crux Merlin. So to start off with our deck profile, we'll go with the material deck. I'll go ahead and show all of them off right now. First we'll go Spirit of Fire. We are running a fire package here, so Spirit of Fire is important. This is your basic one, so you just draw seven at the beginning of the turn, or beginning of the game. For level 1, we go to level 1 Lorraine. So this one is important because Lorraine will get you a weapon card from your material deck for free on her enter. And for this deck, we're running Looking Glass. So this Looking Glass is a little important because of at the beginning of the game, you have to do this as a pre-game action. You are allowed to play this out on the field for free. So this card is going to be the Divine Relic for the deck. So you can only have one Divine Relic of any of the Divine Relics in the game. This one has Omni Shroud, so it can't be targeted by any spells, ally abilities, stuff like that. And when this is in play, it ignores the elemental requirements for Distortion, which in this deck is going to be our swords. Sword of Shadows and Inert Sword. So these are the swords of choice. These are Astra element, which is not the Crux that Merlin usually is, but with Looking Glass it allows us to play. For level 2, we will go into Memory Thief. So this is basically just a kind of like a holdover. Like, it doesn't really do much on level 2. It does have the benefit of being able to tap to eat a floating memory. So if you see your opponent being floating memory happy, you will be able to banish that card and then get a level counter, which the level counters actually do matter for Merlin. With a couple of the cards that synergize with level counters and efficiency, stuff like that. And then for the level 3, we go into Merlin Kingslayer. This is the bread and butter of the deck. So this Merlin, whenever you go into your recollection phase, you put a level counter on her, and then for every even number of level counters that are on her, you draw a card, and her next attack is +2 for that turn. So it can actually really have impactful turns on those even turns where you can swing for really big damages, especially in fire, because fire has a lot of fire or damage pumping attacks and all of that jazz. Okay, so that is the champions. Where we went over a couple of the weapons. There's a couple other ones here. Drawn Blade here. This is just a something that synergizes with the Warriors. It's a class bonus on enter, draw a card. So you're basically going to replace the 1-cost memory on it. And it's just something for value if there's nothing else to play. For a couple of the utility pieces, we have Terrafring and Wind Resonance Bauble. The Wind Resonance Bauble is kind of like your poor man's Grand Crusader's Ring. Since we can't play Grand Crusader's Ring because our Looking Glasses are Divine Relic, this will have to do for now. And for sideboards, I have the other two for fire and water, if you need to switch out. Terrafring, a lot of people already know what Terrafring is, but for those that don't know, you can banish this at the beginning of your opponent's recollection phase, and every attack that they declare, they have to pay an extra 2 reserve cost in order to do that. So you can stop a whole bunch of those go wide allies boards, stuff like Wind Wake Up.
This is my first time playing it today, and I actually used it. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah. So Wind is notorious for just going wide. Heavy allies is pumping each other. So Terrafring does a really good job of stopping that. Okay, and then for the advanced elements, we have Prismatic Edge and the Majestic Spirit. Prismatic Edge is another weapon, 3 attack and 1 durability, so this one is a pretty big swing with your champion, especially on the even turns, like I mentioned before. The main thing with this card, though, is it's on enter effect. When you enter with the Prismatic Edge, both you and your opponent will reveal their memories, and you check to see if there is a water, fire, or wind on both sides. And they have different effects depending on what is revealed. So since I'm playing fire, I get to deal 3 damage to something, like it could be champion, it could be ally. And for water, it's a extra draw. And for wind, they have to randomly discard a card from their memory. So it can actually kind of matter if they're playing wind and they're really counting on every single card from memory to make it count. So that one memory could actually kind of hinder their plans. And then the last one is Majestic Spirit. This is kind of like the boss monster of Merlin. This is a 12 cost memories, but in this deck, you're not really going to pay the 12. There's ways to cheat this in. It is a 4 attack, 10 health ally that comes from your material deck, so it's really hard to kind of snipe. Has Intercept, True Sight, and Vigor. So does a really good job of protecting your champion. True Sight to hit things that have stealth, and then Vigor, you can swing with it freely, and then it'll stand right back up at the end of the turn. The other effects on this, champions that I have Spell Shroud, so it'll protect Merlin from being like Cosmic Bolted, Fireball, any of the burn spells. Does a really good job of that. And the other defensive capabilities of this card is any other Crux card that you have out in play will take half damage if this thing is out. So you basically have to take care of this card first before taking care of like Ghost of Pendragons or whatnot. Okay, and now we'll go on to the main deck. Starting off with the norm cards, needs no introduction, dungeon guides, best way to cheat your levels. You just, on enter, you banish 2 cards from your memory, and you level up. So it's a way to kind of bypass the once per turn, play something from your material deck. So it's not uncommon for you to go from like level 1 to level 3 in 2 turns, or in the same turn. For the other allies, we play Liminal Guide. I only have 3. Planning to get a 4th one soon. But this one is important because it is so much value. So Liminal Guide is a 1 attack, 3 health. But the most important thing about this one is whenever your champion levels up and this is in your graveyard, it'll come back into play. It'll be ephemeral, so if it dies while it's ephemeral, it'll get banished. But also, it'll draw you a card whenever it gets entered with that effect. So, you can dump this turn 1 with some way to bring it out from the graveyard, ephemeral, and then it just basically replaces itself. Okay. Next ally, Cheshire Cat. This thing is super good. A lot of value with this card. It's a 3 cost, 1 attack, 3 health. The important thing with this one is Spell Shroud and Stealth, so it's really, really hard to target, or untargetable, really. You have to AoE it or find a way to mass bounce or something. It has the abilities of Distortion, Regalia that you control. But the most important thing for this deck is the last ability of Cheshire Cat gets plus X attack, where X is equal to the total base power of Distortion, Regalia you control. So I mentioned before that we are playing Sword of Shadows and Inert Sword. So Sword of Shadows has a base power of 1, Inert Sword has a base power of 2, and they're both free to play. So it's not uncommon to have both of these out. Your Cheshire Cat will get plus 3, so your Cheshire Cat is basically swinging 4 damage every turn. Okay. Next couple ones, we have Stalwart Shieldmate. Basically just a floating memory with taunt, so if you need the extra protection, it's there. Taunt to prevent a lot of the really aggressive ally-focused decks. And floating memory. Who doesn't love floating memory? Next one here, I have 3 copies of Fluffy Shopkeep. I think 3 is a good amount for this deck. I think 4 is kind of overdoing it with the amount of banishing I'm already doing with some of the other cards, so I think 3 is the sweet spot. You kind of want to see it, but probably like 1 or 2 again. So this card has Intercept, So if your opponent is going to attack your champion, you can redirect the attack to this card if it's awake. And then on enter, you can banish 2 cards from your material deck, and you'll draw a card into memory. So more card advantage, basically also replaces itself. Okay. A couple of the other action cards here. Undying Dreams. So this is here as a synergy piece for the Liminal Guide. So this is a 2-cost fast speed spell that says target ally gets +1 attack and +1 health at the end of turn. And if that ally is ephemeral, which when Liminal Guide comes from the trash, he will, you put a buff counter on him. So he basically becomes a 3/4 or 3/5 at that turn. So yeah, it's another way for you to swing pretty big with the 3 cost per turn. Alongside your Treasure Cat, you're basically doing like 7 damage a turn. Then bonus on top is Floating Memory, so you can always use this when you level up. And then we'll have here is a package of defensive pieces, Crystallized Destiny and Resolute Stand. Resolute Stand is here for preventing attack damage if you don't have your defensive allies out. You can prevent 3 damage, which is a pretty good amount of damage to prevent with this card. And if you're level 2 or above, which in this deck, you're going to be to level 3 and higher, you can activate this card without paying the reserve cost, and you skip your draw phase, which is not so bad in Fire, and especially in Merlin because there's other ways to draw. And then the other one is for Crystallized Destiny. So this card is a 3 cost. We don't really care about the first line of text because that one is mainly for like Woja stuff. But the second part is what's really important. So the next time you would be dealt damage to your champion this turn, prevent all of that damage. So it doesn't matter if it's 2, 5, 18. It's not uncommon to get hit for like 16, 18 in this game. You prevent all of it. And if you prevent more than 7 or more, then the next card that your opponent needs is going to want to play costs 2 more. So there's a tax whenever you do negate a really, really big swing. Okay, on to Fire. First, we'll start off with the very basic Flame Rune Swordsman. So this one isn't here just because it synergizes with Warriors, which Lorraine and Merlin are. Gives me Floating Memory, so it's another Floating Memory if I need to level up without using Dungeon Guide. And also it's a 2/2, so swinging early for 2 at some ally, problematic ally, or just chipping away at your opponent. 2 damage every turn. Sometimes they don't even sometimes they don't take care of it, so you get 3 damage off of it.
I saw Lorraine and I was like, oh, we're testing.
Yep.
Here I am with
Next ally. This is 3 parts. So 3 parts came out in the last set. This is a 2 attack, 3 HP ally. And this one has a mechanic called Cardistry. So the way this one works is for the ability, the cost for the ability will be reduced for the amount of Cardistry cards that have different reserve costs. In this deck, we're only running the 3 parts for Cardistry, so it's only going to get reduced by the 1 because she counts herself. But we use this for the card draw. You pay 2 reserve cost and you draw a card and ditch a card. So filtering your deck out for all of your other answers, really, really good, and also fantastic beat stick. A couple of the draw pieces, very staples in Fire. We have the package of Cremation Ritual and Creative Shock. So Cremation Ritual, this is a really important one in the deck. To pay for this one, you need to sacrifice an ally as well as paying the cost for the card, and you draw 2 cards. So you can do some shenanigans with like playing a Liminal Guide, swinging with the Liminal Guide, and then sacking the Liminal Guide to Cremation Ritual to get it to the trash. Draw your 2 cards, and then next turn level up, bring in the Liminal Guide, get another card. So really, really good draw piece. And then Creative Shock. So this one is basically kind of like your pseudo Graceful Charity if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! You draw 2, discard 1.
Who doesn't like drawing cards?
Oh yeah. fantastic. Yeah, it's a fast speed too. This kind of insane how it's a fast speed draw spell. So you can wait until like your opponent plays something and then play it. See if you can dig for an answer at that turn. But also in this deck with level 2 and 3 Merlin, she also counts as a mage, so she gets the class bonus for the second part of the effect, where if you discard a fire card, you can ping something for 2. So ally, champion, yeah, you can just slowly burn them to death. I main deck 2 reduced ash. So this one is basically a kind of like a tech piece for problematic regalia, nullifying lantern, censor of restful peace. A lot of those cards that kind of hinder graveyard strategies, you can hit those with this because most of those are memory cost of 0. So this will take care of those cards. And then a couple fire finishers here. We play 2 Rending Flames and 4 Fireballs. So Rending Flame is a class bonus for warriors in this deck that says on attack, excuse me, you may banish 3 fire cards from your graveyard, and if you do, Rending Flames gains whenever this attack would deal damage, it doubles that damage. So in this deck, you normally would want to swing with this on your even level counter turn with Merlin when she gets the +2 bonus. And then if you have like Prismatic Edge out for like +3, so that's 5. And then this has an inherent 3 damage on it, so that's 8. So right off the bat, you're getting 16 damage with just 1 swing and 3 fire cards in your graveyard. So if you need to finish somebody off fast, you can do it with this one. And the important thing with this one is since it's a warrior class bonus, you can do this at level 1 also with Lorraine. So if you're still at level 1 and you find a way to pitch 3 fire cards into your graveyard really early, you can do like an upwards of like 10, 11 damage like first turn. So it's not uncommon for people to, for you to kill your opponent on turn 1 or level 1. And then the other one here is Fireball. This one synergizes with Merlin's level counter accruing ability. So this one has a class bonus where it gets reduced by 2 if you're mage. And this one says you deal 1 plus your current level to any target. So like it's, for me, I think one of my games today, I had Merlin at like 7 level counters. So this thing was hitting for 8 for 2 cost. So just doming people for 8, like turn like 5 or 6.
Probably weren't expecting.
Yeah, and and the cool thing with this one is since it's so efficient in cost because you're a mage, you're okay dumping a 2, like 2 reserve cost, hitting for 8. If it gets countered, that's fine. You might have another one, so do it again. Okay, and now we go on to the advanced elements. The big boy, Ghost of Pendragon. There's a reason why he is so expensive. I think he's still going for like $45 a piece for the non-foil ones, and he's like $80 for the foil one.
You got one of the
And I have one of the foil ones.
Pull it, or did you?
No, I got it from them. Yeah, so this card is kind of gas, like understatement. So we go into Crux, and this is a 2 cost for a 3/4, which is very uncommon for a 2 cost. But on top of that, the on-enter effect is you may return a regalia from your field back into your material deck to draw 2 cards. So like you're playing like your free regalias, like you bring out a regalia, play this guy, put it back in, and then next turn play it again for free. You're just like, okay. And then it's
Free value.
yeah, free value on this guy. And then he's a 3/4 beater, so he's really, really hard to take care of. Yeah, it's insane cards. Okay, and the next one we have here is Spiritblade Ascension. Probably one of the very kind of tricky cards to use, I would say, in this deck. So the way this works is you need another sword regalia out in play, so something like your Inert Sword or Drawn Blade or something like that. An additional cost is to return it back to your material deck.
Yeah.
And you choose a regalia from either your material deck or in Banish, which is the important thing, is you can have it banished. So you're basically switching a sword for another sword. So the main play is like, let's say I have an Inert Sword out,
Yeah.
and then I have Prismatic Edge, in my banishment. So you're basically going to put this back, play Prismatic Edge, and then do the effect of burning if you have a fire card. So really, really good way to like get value of, if you have fire, 3 damage, swing with this, it's another 3 damage, 6 damage right away. And yeah, like learning this game, I totally forgot that if you play this while this is out, since the way the card is worded, you do the return first before the play. So you can actually return the Prismatic Edge and bring it back out.
Okay.
So you don't even need another sword card. You can just have this out.
So that would just be like a timing thing. You have to make sure to remember.
Yeah, yeah. So you can have it to where if you have 2 of these out in play,
Yeah.
yeah, you can just play one, put Inert Sword, play this guy, and if you have another one, just flash this one back in. And then you'll get the value because your fires are going to be in your memory. So it's really, really something to think about for Crux players here. Cool. And then a couple other cards here. Crux Sight. So this is one way to recur your Crux cards that are in your graveyard. All of the sites in this game are free, and they have an additional cost usually, or some other benefit if you pay an extra cost. So for the Crux one, you pay an extra 2 reserve to bring back a Crux card from your graveyard. So if you want to do the shenanigans of the Spirit Blade Ascension, you can. If a Ghost of Pendragon died somehow, bring that back with this guy, replay it again. So yeah, like it's basically having like another 2 copies of Ghost of Pendragon in the deck. So just value card all over. And then the last card here, I didn't get to play this today, but this is Incarnate Majesty. This is a 12 cost, but not really. It has efficiency, so the cost of the card is reduced by the level of your champion. So with the level counters, it's not uncommon for this to be reduced by 7, and then it also has a reduction based on the number of the sword regalias that are in your banishment. So further reducing the cost of this. So usually I'm playing this for like 3 or 4, which you don't mind because you get a 4/10 beater like off of this guy, and you can just play the Majestic Spirit from your material deck or the banishment. So it's going to be that boss monster, the one that protects and just does a whole bunch of things. So yeah, that is basically the Fire Crux Lorraine build that I ran today. Really, really fun, really, really expensive. But yeah. I recommend if you have the funds to do it, or just play online on the sim. It's free.
There you go. Any shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs to Evergreen. This place is so good since they picked up the game. We've been getting new players left and right here. So yeah, if you're ever in the area here in San Antonio, come visit.
All right. Well, thanks. Like, comment, and subscribe. Wolfpack TCG.